This is Brandon with Fleet Feet, and today I've got a classic for you, and that is the Saucony Kinvara 15. The Saucony Kinvara 15 is on its 15th version, which means it's been around for quite a while. This is the men's model, and this is the women's model. The Kinvara over the last 15 years or so has really built a loyal following. People who have started with the Kinvara have just this warm spot in their heart for it, and enjoy it even up to this 15th model. I don't blame them. This is one of the lightest daily trainers out there right now, and it has been for many years. And it stands out as the shining example that you can get a lot done with not having to do too much. Sometimes simple and minimal is better, especially in a world where all of these shoes are trying to go max cushion, max stack, carbon fiber plates. Sometimes you bring it back to basics with a shoe like the Kinvara and you realize that you can get a great ride out of a very simple shoe. The Saucony Kinvara is going to be best for daily training miles. But before we go any further, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you can keep up to date for when all of our new videos come out. Now moving on to the upper. The upper is a mesh upper. It has a gusseted tongue and it has thin padding around the heel collar and tongue as well. The lacing system is also pretty standard. This is a very breathable upper, and one of our reviewers, Nate, had a lot to say about it. He found that the upper of the shoe just had a very dialed in and sleek look to it. He noted that the heel collar of the shoe just had a little bit of stiffness to it so that it locked his heel in really well. And for our reviewer, Nate, he actually has a wider and high volume foot, but a bit of a thinner heel. So usually Saucony shoes fit and work really well for him, and the Kinvara was no exception. The fit of this shoe was great, except for one area where the toe box was just a little bit too narrow for him, but that's only because he received a standard sizing of this shoe instead of his typical wide. And Caroline really enjoyed how lightweight this shoe is. And to be fair, it is really lightweight, probably one of the lightest shoes that we've tested in 2024 so far. Caroline really enjoyed the no frills feel of this shoe and its basic yet modern take on a very minimal shoe. Caroline enjoyed how lightweight this shoe was and the touch of padding just around the heel collar and tongue, but overall a nice low profile and great fitting upper. And if you're curious whether the Saucony Kinvara or any other Saucony shoe really fits well for you, you can stop into your local Fleet Feet store. You can go get your foot scanned and go through the outfitting process to go find out exactly what shoe is going to work best for you. Now, moving down to the midsole, which is where you'll find the first layer, which is an SRS sock liner, which just adds a little bit more protection and padding on foot, but also guides your foot forward as you're going through your stride. A lot of brands these days are now starting to focus on the sock liner of the shoe. A lot of it used to be in the midsole where they were worrying about higher stacks and plates and all that good stuff, but now we've actually moved into a phase where the sock liner matters too. And why wouldn't it? You shouldn't be neglecting any part of a running shoe. This midsole has a power run midsole, which is usually the firmest of all of the options that Saucony provides. One of our reviewers, Max, really enjoyed the midfoot feeling of this shoe and found that it was very stable for him and he was very confident when running in it. He usually struggles with higher stack shoes, knowing that the stability of them is going to keep him a little bit wobbly on his ankles. The lower profile and lower stack of the shoe really made it a little bit easier for him to run through his stride. Speaking of a lower drop and lower stack, the drop of this shoe comes in at 4 millimeters with 29 in the heel and 25 in the toe. This shoe falls just under 30 millimeters for stack, making it one of the outsiders right now in the running shoe industry as a low stack running shoe option. So if you're someone who likes a bit of a firmer and lower stack shoe, then the Saucony Kinvara is a great option for that. And now moving down to the outsole. You can't really tell as much in this one, but you can in the women's model. You can see here that in terms of outsole rubber, there is a little bit of protection here on the toe and a little bit here in the heel. There isn't too much rubber coverage, and that is to save weight and only allow for some durability and extra traction in areas where it's needed. Our team didn't really have too many issues with traction and actually found that even though this is a narrow base, it was still very stable. Since this shoe doesn't actually have that much rubber coverage on the bottom here, you can expect it to be a little bit less durable than shoes that do have a full length rubber coverage. Moving on to the ride and performance. And a lot of our team really had some great thoughts about this. One of our reviewers, Nate, just found that the Kinvara 15 is just a reason why you don't always need squishy and marshmallowy and high stack shoes. He actually prefers a lower profile and firmer shoe, and so for him, the Kinvara really worked best. And this is just a reason behind why sometimes minimal and more basic is better. And one of our reviewers, Max, actually found that the midsole ride of this shoe was firm, it was responsive, and it was great for doing a lot of his faster workouts in. Caroline actually found that if you just like that more of a ground feel sensation when you're running through your stride, then the Kinvara will work great for you. And I agree with the review team. This is a shoe that you can pick up the pace due to its lightness and weight, and it definitely has a bit of a firmer feel to it. If you're someone who really likes feeling the ground, then the Kinvara makes sense. Now, speaking of how light this shoe is, the men's model comes in at 7 ounces and 200 grams, and the women's model coming in at 6.2 ounces or 177 grams, making it one of the lightest shoes that we've tested this year. What's also great about the shoe is it's not just light, but it has a great value to it at $120, making it one of the cheapest options that you can get for a daily trainer. But $120 makes sense. You're not getting a carbon fiber plate in this shoe. You're not getting a premium foam. It's just taken away and stripped all of those bells and whistles, and what you've been left with is still a great daily trainer, but at a good value. So what shoe do you want us to review next? Leave it in the comments below, or let us know what other shoes we should compare to this one. If you are interested in the Saucony Kinvara 15, you can go find it at your local Fleet Feet or online at fleetfeet.com. And if you still want to learn even more about this shoe, you can check out our written review on the blog at fleetfeet.com, where you can hear from all of our reviewers. And as always, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel and follow us on all of our social media channels, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Strava, or wherever else we might be.